So hi everyone, welcome to another in our series of lockdown videos. Now today I'm joined by Cameron Taylor. Cameron is an alum who graduated from Exeter in history last year and was voted the Athletic Union President for 2019-20. Now Cameron's job is to be the voice of student sport. He runs events throughout the year and ensures that Exeter is accessible to everyone. And a lot of alumni will know Cameron or possibly his predecessors because the AU works very closely with lots of alumni on events and reunions. So welcome, Cam. Nice to see you. Thanks for joining me.
Hello. Thank you for having me.
Now it's been a bit of a different year for you compared to other presidents. Lockdown started last month, so a lot of your normal activity has been cancelled. But you were very busy up until March. So I wondered if you could share with alumni some of the key achievements from last year.
Yeah, certainly. I think one of the big things I wanted to bring to the role was a focus on sort of inclusion within sport. And for the first time, I ran a sort of student sport event for Black History Month called it was the Devon Against Racism Conference, and we linked in with Devon FA, Devon County Council, and also a local sort of international and inclusive football club. And we had an honest and frank discussion sort of around late October, based on some of the things that were happening in football internationally with sort of racism in England, and especially on the pitch within football, and also the stuff happening in local leagues. And yeah, we had an honest and frank discussion about it. And we sort of tried to create a bit of a momentum and a bit of an initiative to sort of collaborate and work together locally in Devon as a sort of partnership between, the university and student sport and some of the local football leagues. And we should be working together and trying to tackle and fight racism from sort of all levels of sport, not just football.
Yeah, definitely.
And that was really positive. It's one of the things we're just going to try and keep that momentum going. We've had follow-up meetings with the sort of panelists that we had on the day, which is really productive. And I think now it's just thinking about how we can link that and continue that momentum. But certainly, I think it's reflected and made us think about actually the role that the university sport has in terms of promoting inclusivity in the local area. Because as you say, I think the university has especially within Devon and the way we are situated, we are probably the most diverse population of people in university and play sport here. So I think we have a responsibility to be proactive in sort of fighting racism.
Cool. I mean, one of the other things you did just before lockdown was a business and sport event. I mean, can you share any details from that as well?
Yeah. So another thing I wanted to achieve, another thing I'm passionate about is I believe volunteering and doing stuff in sport gives you so much skills, not just in terms of like the social connections you have, but actually the employability skills and the transferable skills you get from sport. And then you can use that to sort of help push you further in your career. I was keen on sort of working with Global Advancement and our alumni team to try and get some of our sports alumni down to current students and sort of give them some business advice and offer up some networking opportunities. So yeah, we in early March we ran a sort of business and sports careers event. And it was very unique because it gave current students an opportunity to see sport from the business side of things. So actually giving them a bit of an opportunity and an insight into seeing how they can apply some of their skills, perhaps into the business world and perhaps into the sports industry as well. And that was really positive. We had Catherine Lane, who works for EY, and she's sort of she helps athletes get into sort of professional roles. And also we had Chris Maddox, who was an Olympian. And similarly we had Chris Rea, who entrepreneur. He took part in Dragon's Den. And he was given a bit of an insight in setting up your own business. Yeah, it was really good. I think we had about over 30 students who attended. And yeah, feedback was really positive, and this is something we're looking to roll out in future years.
Cool, excellent. Now, obviously, Bucks leagues have been suspended for the rest of the season. What does that mean for all the Exeter teams who were fighting at the top of these tables?
So in a nutshell, the Bucks season's table has been voided for the season. So what that means is the total collection of Bucks points there basically won't be an official Bucks
Right.
institutions this season. However, we can calculate and we can see the points that we did gain up until the 18th of March.
You're right.
So looking at that score on that table, if the Bucks table was to be valid, we would be sitting in fourth. So
right.
Overall, we've been doing very well across the year, and actually for many clubs, it's been really hugely successful. I think we are fortunate that a lot of our teams, a lot of our clubs were able to finish their seasons, which is really positive.
Okay.
I think it's impacted some other clubs in a bit more heavily. So, for example, cricket, who tend to have their seasons obviously during, out the outdoor season during summer. I think they've been hit the most. Some other clubs, such as I think lacrosse and rugby and hockey, have sort of missed out on their cup finals competitions.
Yeah.
And a few other clubs have sort of missed opportunities to sort of travel for competitions over Easter as well. But otherwise, the majority of our teams were able to finish their seasons,
Okay.
Which is sort of a silver lining, really.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, are you in touch with any of the team members? Do you know if people are continuing training, how it's going for them?
Yeah, no. I'm in contact with all the club captains, which is really good. And I think that's one thing we wanted to do, was to keep that communication and keep that team spirit, keep that morale up, because I think it's important sort of in these times really to, use sport and to, try and continue that sense of community. I think we've been in contact with our clubs, and it's actually amazing seeing some of the stuff they're doing on social media. Like, we've been setting challenges, running 5K, or doing like fitness challenges in your home. Also, we have a Strava account. We have like a University of Exeter student sport where everyone can join that, and again, we roll out weekly challenges. So over Easter, for example, we did like an Easter egg hunt sort of challenge Strava, where people sort of had to do like a walk-in or run route to make the shape of an Easter bunny. Be good. Even just stuff like quizzes as well. I know a lot of clubs who run quizzes like online on like Zoom and platforms. So I think people are keeping connected.
That's cool. I mean, and you personally, how are you coping with no sport? I mean, you got, no sport at the university, no sport in wider life, and sport must be very important to you. How is that going?
It's weird. It's very weird. Obviously, yeah, not even sport in your daily life, but even there's just no sport happening around either. This is as a football and a rugby fan, and even just a sports fan in general, just not being able to watch sport is a very weird experience. And obviously, hearing the postponements to stuff like Olympics and Wimbledon. It's mad, and Euros. It's I don't know what this means for sport, and I think everyone's sort of scratching their heads. But I think it's going to be an evolving situation, really. But yeah, I think there's going to be a lot of knock-on impacts, but hopefully we'll come back and we'll come back stronger. But yeah, it's a very weird period.
Very weird, very weird. I guess everyone's going to be desperate for it when it does come back. Everyone's going to be so into it. Now, changing the subject a little bit, can I just ask why you wanted to be AU president first place?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't really consider running for it until very late. But I joined the rugby club since I joined the university, and I've loved every minute of it. And sort of going in as a fresher and playing in the first year, and I sort of moved into a coaching role, and then I sort of joined the committee as like a welfare officer role. And I just sort of loved being involved in the club and just helping it progress, and just seeing how the positive impact it can have on new people coming in, and seeing how their experience at university is just heightened, and their enjoyment comes from just playing sport and rugby, and I wanted to sort of bring that into sort of the AU really, and I sort of come into sport from a background. So I've done a bit of volunteering outside of Exeter as well. So I'm on the England Rugby's diversity and inclusion working group. So I had a bit of experience in that side of things. And I thought perhaps there is something unique I could bring to the role that perhaps not many other candidates could bring. And I think as the only AU president of colour as well, I thought, definitely that inclusion element I can really push forward in my year. So I think that was my motivation really, and just the love of sport in general.
Yeah. Excellent, thanks. Now, you work closely with a lot of alumni. I mean, can you just share with us some of the ways that alumni can get involved? I mean, obviously, maybe not now, but in the long run.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's support. I think for many clubs, I think in many ways. So I think one element is from a sort of advisory capacity, really, and a lot of alumni now you're working in different areas of business, going into different pathways. Actually, there is a lot of valuable expertise there, and especially if you have a passion for your sport and you still want to keep connected to the club. I think actually a lot of our clubs would benefit from having alumni if they are interested in perhaps advising some of our clubs in a sort of advisory capacity. Really, I think there is that opportunity. I think similarly, many of our clubs, when they're running events, running big sort of spotlight fixtures or varsities, having that alumni engagement is just really special and is really important as well. And I think many of our clubs really want to connect with previous club members and trying to get as many people to come down and support, major fixtures. It's just a huge moment for them, and it's almost, I don't think you can underestimate, having that extra person on the sideline supporting. It makes a big difference. And even in terms of like financial support as well. Even at some of the events that I've run, one of the things I was proud of this year is the Good Lad Initiative workshops I've been running. Yeah. I wasn't able to do that without the support of the annual fund.
Okay.
And many of the club's projects and initiatives, come from the support of alumni donations. And again, I don't think that can be, that can be underestimated. That helps our club so much, especially even during these tough times as well, when there is a lot of financial uncertainty. But there's just so many ways for alumni to get involved, and having that alumni network and support is just really crucial for our clubs.
Awesome. Now, finally, are there any exciting plans for the future? Anything that you were planning on doing that's maybe a little delayed, or anything that that's coming up in the future?
Yeah, I think we tend to have two. Now it's sort of coming into awards season, and we usually have two flagship awards events, Colours and Awards and AU Dinner. Obviously, these events can't happen for obvious reasons, but we're looking at alternative ways to host them.
Okay.
I think in the plans now is to do like an online version of the awards. We're still finalising some details, but definitely keep an eye out. We want as many people, tuning in as possible. So
okay, cool. Yeah, keep us posted.
Yeah, so we've got some exciting plans for that. Hopefully, make it as engaging and as fulfilling and as prestigious as normal awards, but just on an online.
Yeah.
So I think that, keep an eye on that. I think that's got some
next big thing. Awesome, thank you. Well, thanks so much for your time today, Cam. And I think you've set a challenge in terms of backgrounds now. No one's going to be able to film from their kitchen anymore. Looking at that one. So I'll be interested to see what the next person comes up with. But thanks so much for your time and for all the work that you're doing with the Athletic Union. And I hope everyone's enjoyed listening to our little chat.
Thank you, Emily. Thank you.